It's one stupid move after another for you, but it's no longer funny. You. Wipe that smug, happy-go-lucky smile off your face. And now this. You've messed up again. You let Maya Fey escape. Even though she was right there in front of you. Mia Fey. Mia Fey, Mia Fey, Mia Fey! You spinster! I was supposed to kill Maya Fey like I swore I would. And if only you had gotten that spiky head jerk the guilty verdict, I wouldn't have been hanged to death. True. But I think you finally understand, Dahlia Hawthorne. You will never defeat me. What? What did you say? Whether you're alive, dead, or somewhere in between, you will never defeat me. As long as I'm around, you're destined to lose for all of eternity. I remember what you said earlier in the trial. You said there was no way we could punish you because you were already dead. What about it? Then you said, even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, lives on forever. That's very true, Dahlia. That's exactly the punishment you'll never be able to escape from. For all of eternity, you'll have to remain as Dahlia Hawthorne, a miserable, pathetic, weak creature who can never win at anything. Ouch! The burns! And for you, there's no escape from that, no hope of freedom, since the day you were executed. The narrow bridge that once stretched out in front of you was burned to a crisp. That's it, she is the Savage Queen, oh my god. You're wrong! Oh god. Oh god. Do we need to call the Ghostbusters in here? It can't be! How could I lose to the likes of you? It no longer matters. I don't care whether you win or lose anymore. The only thing I want is for you to come out of Maya's body right now. Ah! Ah! Oh god. Oh god. Whoa. Oh damn. Jesus. I'm not ready. Not ready to go. Freaking demon. Be gone! It's the Magatama shape. Damn, this is intense. So why was the hair? Oh, why was the hair that way? Nick? Sis? Flomp. Oh, now we need to solve whether or not she actually killed Misty Fey. Fuck. Damn, that's gonna be one angry ghost. Now then, I assume you are the real Iris. Yes, I was just rescued from the sacred cave. I must say, you and your twin sister are indeed identical from what I can see. In any case, it appears that everything has finally been cleared up. Mr. Godot, what happened to Dahlia Hawthorne? If you ask me, Your Honor, it looks like she went back to the hell she came from. Seems that Misty Fey wasn't the only victim of this crime. Maya Fey as well as the young Pearl Fey were also victims of this wicked and selfish plan. Yes, Your Honor. The tragedy of Medium Valley has finally come to an end, it seems. Is that what you're calling this? The tragedy of Medium Valley? It would be best for everyone if no further attempt was made to channel that spirit again. No arguments here, Your Honor. Yes, what is it? About this whole spirit medium thing? It's almost weird how comfortable you seem to be with the concept now. He's like, dude, I've seen some shit, okay? Well, to be frank, my younger brother is quite judgmental. He often criticizes me for not studying hard enough. That's why I made a concerted effort to study upon the Korean channeling technique. Hey, isn't that the New Year's issue of Occult? I've seen quite a few things in my many years on the bench. And in all that time, I've finally learned this one thing. Each case is different and takes place in its own world, if you will. In order to fully understand that world, first we have to immerse ourselves in it completely. And that's where my brother and I used to differ. Never thought of it that way. And that almost sounds kind of rational coming from this guy. Oh my god. Ay. So, at any rate, it's time to pass judgment on the case of Iris of Hazakura Temple.
Objection!
I knew it wasn't going to be that quick. There's the other coffee. You're a little too fast with that gavel, Your Honor. What do you mean by that, Mr. Godot? This trial, it isn't over yet. That's what he means. What? Trite? Remember what Miss Evil Spirit said in her testimony? Huh? Dahlia's testimony? It's still the matter of who killed Misty Faye while she was being channeled, well, while she was channeling Dahlia. I caught up with her in front of the stone lantern. Then I took out the dagger I got from the storehouse. It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. I think I was stabbed. Who done it? Just as Dahlia Hawthorne was about to attack Maya, she was stabbed and killed by someone. Yes, that's right. Fucking Larry. Oh, you bastard, Larry. But it was you. No. No, I'm going to blame everything on Larry till the end of this game. The person that was ultimately killed was the spirit medium that channeled Dahlia. Elise Dunham. No, Misty Faye. But who killed her? We still don't know who did it. This isn't over. Boom. Unless someone else is found guilty, the accused is still on trial. We can't let her walk until there's evidence that proves her innocence. That's true, yeah, because she could still be the one that done it. No way. But this court isn't prepared for any further testimony. The prosecution is ready to call our final witness. Final witness? This one will clear up the whole mystery. The mystery of who killed Misty Faye. Indeed. Who else could there be? Oh, it's going to be Maya. Yeah, he's going to call Maya. Is it really alright, Mr. Prosecutor? Of course it's alright, Madam Attorney. Very well then. Who's this final witness? Isn't it obvious? There's one person who saw the whole event and will put the final dagger in this case. Someone who saw the murder take place. The very person who saw her mother killed right in front of her own eyes. Hey, Freya, well done, you caught the star. You mean Maya? You can't. She can't testify after what she's just been through. We need to find the truth. The prosecution calls Maya Faye to the witness stand. Very well. But first, we'll take a brief recess. We'll have to wait for Ms. Faye to recover before summoning her. Once we receive the doctor's permission, we'll proceed with the trial. Hey, Trite, I've got something to say to you, so listen up. Yeah, was that? I don't think much of you as a lawyer. It's always the same with you. You somehow managed to squeak by without even a faint understanding of the case. When's the next break? About half an hour. Some beautiful woman always seems to come dashing in at the last minute to save you. You've got some nerve. But that's not going to happen this time. This time, you're going to have to do this by yourself. BRB dinner? Okay, no problem. You go get your dinner. Whoa! Shy, you won the Battle Royale! Rigged. Obviously for you to win because, you know, That's just proper and right. Nicely done. That's enough. This court is now in recess. Oh, here we go. There's a little bit more first. Alright, lay it on me. I'm truly sorry about everything. You were working so hard to defend me, but I was missing all day and we didn't even have a chance to talk. He's right. When I met Iris at the training hall yesterday, they'd already switched places, and Iris was inside the sacred cave, and for some reason not banging on the bars, being like, "Wait, no, it's a trap!" I wanted to at least be in the defendant's box today to root you on. Well, it isn't your fault. You were locked up this whole time. There's something more important than that, though. I have to ask you. Why did you help your sister out as much as you did? Huh? If you tried to get help at the Sacred Cavern yesterday, you wouldn't have spent the entire day locked up in there. My sister. Felt sorry for her. He was abandoned by our mother and never got any love from our father either. Yes, but it was the same for you too, wasn't it? Yes, but at least I had Sister Bikini, who was like a mother to me. If only Dahlia had come with me to Hazakura Temple. I always loved her. Dahlia was always so smart, so strong. She never complained about a thing. That's why I promised her that I would help her. You talking about the fake kidnapping case 11 years ago? Yes, I wanted to be useful to her in some way. But, as usual, I was too cowardly. At the last minute I ran away because of that. Dahlia's stepsister, Valerie, ended up... that was the case that wounded Mia so badly. Yeah, 'cause the guy drank the poison out of the vial. But things didn't end there, of course. Some people suspected that my sister was involved in the murder. Some people? You must mean... Yes, 2 defense attorneys. Mia Fey and Diego Armando. After poisoning Mr. Armando, who was getting too close to learning the truth, Dahlia even tried to kill the person who had unknowingly hid the poison for her. You. That's right. Iris. There's one more thing I have to ask you. Yes, what is it? On the night of the murder, the person that cleaned up the corpse of the victim, Elise Dunham, was it really you? Yes, it was me. That night after I rang the lights out bell, I went back to my room. At around 10:30 I received a call on my cell phone. There's a problem. Come to the inner temple right away. I got on the snowmobile, headed for the inner temple, but the bridge was already on fire. The path to the inner temple was cut off. Right, exactly. Can't just leave the body here. So you've got to do this exactly as I say, got it? It was me. I was the one that received the body. There's no phone on the other side, though. Hang on, this isn't making sense again. This is adding more questions. This couldn't be Dahlia, because the next thing Dahlia knew, she was in the Sacred Cavern. And the only other person over there was Pearl. And who the hell was ringing? Maybe a cell phone? Yeah, but where is it? Where's their cell phone? Why would they even have that? Why would anybody have a cell phone over there? I don't know. somebody, what we know is somebody had to set up the whole swing the body across on the line deal, right? And if Maya was already trapped inside the cavern, like she locked herself in, and then channeled Dahlia Hawthorne, this couldn't be Dahlia doing this. Because they have a personal cell phone? Like, why do you have a cell phone? I know, it just seems too neat, you know? Something about it seems a bit too neat. So the only other person over there should have been Pearl and Maya. I don't know if I believe that they just happened to have a cell phone on them and are calling Iris to say, help me move the body. Somebody else is doing this. There's another person. Right, so it was that. The murder weapon had been left in the body so she wouldn't bleed too much. The staff that Mystic Elise always held. I knew it. So the actual murder weapon was the staff. Yes, that's right. I brought the body back to Hazakura Temple on the snowmobile. Oh, I know Freya knows who's done it because she's played the game. But why? Why did you alter the body? I didn't want anyone to know that the staff was the murder weapon. I didn't want to leave anything that would lead back to Misty Faye. So I dressed her in a robe and stabbed her with the shitty Cheeto. I wiped the blood off of the staff blade and left it next to her on the ground. Iris, just tell me one last thing. Tell me the name of the person that called your cell phone, the real killer. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I can't do it. I can't say who did it. See. Defendant. Yes. The judge is calling you. He wants to see you in his chambers. He has some questions about Dahlia Hawthorne. All right. Well then, I'll see you later. There's something I want to tell you. Oh, okay. Something she wants to tell me, with a blush. Oh, you mean later? Okay, I thought she was going to tell us now. Before she goes. I ate your dinner. God damn it! I put a label on it! Respect the label system. So it's true. Iris cooperated with the real killer. Maybe even from the very beginning. Phoenix? Yeah. How's Maya doing? Physically, I'm not worried. She'll recover completely, but emotionally, she's been hurt very badly by this case. No shit. See. You don't mean she learned who Elise Dunham really was? Yes, I went to the medical office and talked with her. I told her everything I knew. But why? Maya's stronger than you think. I knew she could take it, all of it. Besides, she needs to know that before going into the courtroom. We can't let her find that out on the freaking stand, you know? I want you to figure out that answer all by yourself. The trial is about to restart. The real killer? Do you know who it is yet? Fucking Larry. I don't know. Larry. Iris wouldn't Iris wouldn't tell me who called her, but still. I think that just maybe I know who it was. That night, the victim was killed in the garden of the Inner Temple. The criminal wasn't just there by accident. Which means the killer knew of Dahlia's plan from the very beginning. One more thing. The victim was moved to the Hazakura Temple side by pendulum. In other words, the criminal couldn't cross the bridge. That means they were stuck on the Inner Temple side for almost an entire day. Exactly. So the culprit was someone that wasn't at the Hazakura Temple the following day. That's as much help as I can give you. The rest of the battle is yours to win or lose. Okay, I've got it. Thank you, Mia. Finally, it's almost time to bring this case to an end. For real this time. What exactly did Maya see anyway? Who was it that actually killed Misty Faye? Whoever it was, I have to prove it. Me all by myself. To be continued. Here we go, guys. Early break time? You know what, actually, yeah, that might be a good call, because this is the last part, right? Let's do that. It's a little early, and we took the last break a little late. You need a little late. You need a loo break. Okay, skedaddle. You go do that. We'll take a quick break. Hi, guys. Welcome back. Okay, so let's do a quick recap for those who are just joining us or returning and missed some of the events in the middle. So the last part of the case, we had what we thought was Iris on the stand, but it wasn't Iris. It's been Dahlia Hawthorne ever since the earthquake at the temple. And she slipped and Iris ran off to check the cavern. So what had happened is this. Dahlia Hawthorne, when we exposed her, then gives a full rundown of what happened from her perspective. She thought she'd been channeled by Pearl, and that she'd gone to then go to the shrine and kill Maya as per the plan. But instead she thinks she got stabbed, and the next thing she knew, she woke up in the cavern, locked in behind a puzzle lock, not knowing whether or not she killed Maya or not. When she finally got out after the earthquake, because she managed to figure out the puzzle lock eventually, the cops were already there, so she stayed hidden. She put the lock back on herself and stayed hidden. When Iris showed up, she then came out, dragged Iris in, locked her in there, put extra locks on just to be sure, and then posed as Iris. And she figured out, oh, it was Misty Faye that was killed. But I guess that means that Maya killed Misty, because I was travelling around in Misty's body, not Pearl. Oh well, I must be in Pearl's body now. And therefore, since Maya is nowhere to be seen, she must have jumped off the cliff, you know, realising she killed him on. So that's what apparently happened. But as it turns out, what really happened was Maya, realising what had happened with the whole spirit channeling thing, she knew she needed to hide. She wrote a quick note to Mia so that she could read and tell her what had happened. She channeled Mia and let her read it. She wrote a note back to her saying, set a puzzle lock to hide yourself in the cavern, and then channel Dahlia Hawthorne. So she did that. What we don't know is who stabbed Misty Faye while she was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne. Who stabbed her in the back? And I think I know who done it. I'm just going to say, he likes coffee. I mean, obviously, Godot, I think he did it because I think he saw it was Dahlia Hawthorne and there's a lot of vengeance there, and I think he stabbed her. He knows a lot more about this. Plus, suddenly, he wasn't able to try the case the first day. He was indisposed. He was stuck over the other side of the freaking thing. You're still confused? Yeah, it's confusing. Basically, we exposed Dahlia, though. She then left Maya's body, and Maya's collapsed. And now she's going to go on the witness stand and tell things from her perspective. What she would have seen is Dahlia Hawthorne coming at her to stab her with a knife. But she passed out, apparently. And the next thing she knew, she was awake and she was in the temple. What's also happened is somebody in the cave, somebody else, though, called Iris to tell her there'd been a problem and they needed to get the body across the cliff, across the ravine, using the cable swing method. And Iris took it from there. So that's what happened. It is a lot to take in, yeah. I mean, you can always rewatch the VOD, but, damn. Invisible shock. Yeah, I think Godot did this. I think he came to... well, I think Iris probably knew this was going to happen. I think she knew what was happening. I think she told Godot, because I think Godot comes here for a little spiritual touch-up of the whole being undead thing. And I think they devised a plan to try to stop Dahlia from doing what she was doing. And it all went wrong, because he stabbed Dahlia but instead killed Misty and didn't realise it. Godot's undead. Yeah, he told us he died before, and then modern medicine and spiritual stuff put him back together again. He came back from hell, basically, is what he told us. Take the undead thing way too serious. I don't know, maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Anyway, now, before we proceed any further, I'm going to announce the results of the test we had performed earlier. Oh, the blade, the dagger. The bloody dagger that was found stuck on the pine tree. Oh yeah, that. Totally forgot. That's the weapon that Maya Fey used when she fought the victim. What are the results? Was it the victim's blood, or... Due to time constraints, a full test wasn't possible. However, there's one thing we can say with certainty. The blood that was on the dagger was not the victim's blood. Interesting. That is all. Now then, let's restart this trial. So again, it's the sword that did it. So what was the blood on the dagger? Someone else must have caught themselves. So it wasn't Misty's blood on the dagger. Whose was on it? Dagger updated in the court record. I'm sure both the defense and the prosecution know this, but this trial is rapidly coming to a close. Both sides will need to show firm evidence with their claims. I understand, Your Honor. What I've heard. The witness is dangerously weak, physically speaking. So let's finish this quick. And agreed. Very well then, please bring the last witness. Witness, please tell us your name and profession. Maya Fey. My profession is, I'm the assistant manager at Wright & Co. Law Officers. Wow. You didn't want to say that she's a spirit channeler? Maya? According to the magazine I have here, you're a spirit medium of the Korean channeling technique. I'm frightened. The Fae clan, I don't want any more to do with it. Maya, the pain the Fae bloodline caused must be unbearable. Very well. Now then, Ms. Fae, when the event occurred, were you in the garden of the inner temple? And you witnessed the moment of Elise Dunham's murder. Is this correct? I didn't see anything. Oh. Straighten up this instant, young lady. Huh? Pick your head up and speak clearly. There's always time for crying later. But Your mother was killed right in front of your eyes. There's nothing you can do to change that fact. Dude, Godot. But there's something you can do. You can finish this. You've been watching the whole thing. Right? You've seen the witness you've seen the witnesses come out, and you've seen us squeeze the truth out of them. Now it's your turn. Let's hear your testimony. On the night of the crime, what exactly did you see happen? Witness, if you please. Yes, Your Honor. I was passing through the garden on the way to a spare prep room when it happened. Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. I stumbled and I ended up against the stone lantern. I think I screamed, "Help me!" Then something warm splashed over me. That's when I lost consciousness. Oh, that'd be the blood. So you were struck on the head. I suppose it must have been the staff. Maya, the person who hit you, it was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? I'm sorry, Nick. I couldn't see. I don't know who it was. No, that's right, it was dark. Maya, think hard. Sorry, Nick, but I really couldn't. Huh. Can't say it was an especially good night for you ladies to be walking around alone. Seems it will be hard to determine the criminal through the testimony alone. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please begin your cross-examination. Maya, hang in there. It doesn't look well at all. Passing through the garden to a spare prep room. Who else was on the inner temple side that night? Well, Sister Bikini, of course, but I remember her saying that Iris would be coming later as well. On the day after the incident, Edgeworth met with Bikini at Hazakura Temple. That meant she couldn't be the criminal. So then, did Iris actually come later like she said? Well, let me think. Seems confused. It's probably because she's so tired. No, I'm sure I didn't see her. She must have come while I was preparing for the training. Suddenly someone struck me over the head. Who did it? Who hit you? Ah, well, I didn't see who it was. It was from behind. You didn't see the person, but after that your attacker was in front of you. How could you not see who it was? Oh, let me think for a sec. I'm sorry, I just can't remember. Maya's having a hard time. What should I do? Gotta press harder. Sorry, but you gotta do this. Come on, Maya, this isn't making sense. Why didn't you see this person? Well, let me think. It was, oh yeah, that's right. It was dark, that's it. It was dark. It's not good to have too much light around when someone is undergoing spiritual training. Come to think of it, there was earlier testimony to that effect as well. So it was dark in the garden on the night of the crime, which is why she didn't see her attacker. I thought maybe she was trying to hide something, but I guess not. Judging by the testimony thus far, the identity of the attacker was most likely the spirit that was channeled by Elise Doonan, Dahlia Hawthorne. Very well, please continue with your testimony. What happened after you were struck on the head? Stumbled and ended against the stone lantern. What happened afterwards? My attacker was in front of me, blocking off my escape, I think. You think? After getting hit like that, I was in a state of panic. There were only two things rolling around in my mind at that time. Well now, this is beginning to get interesting. So, what were the two things rolling in your mind? My name is Maya Fey. 1 + 1 = 2. You see, for some crazy reason, I was afraid I was going to lose my memory. I know it's odd considering my life was in danger, but that's how it was. That's not odd at all. Your actions are understandable given the circumstances. So, what did you do then? Screamed, help me. You think you screamed, but you're not sure. Listen, I was a complete wreck. It was dark and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man, a woman, an adult, a child? I had no idea. I was scared out of my wits. Believe me, my dear, I'm certain I would have soiled my robes. In fact, he might just well have done right now. We're not too sure anymore. I thought this person might attack me, so Anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I thought that was my last hope. Sounds like poor Maya was really out of her mind. But I wonder what she meant, my last hope. What do I do? Do I press for more details? Well, she already said what she screamed. What's this? Wait a minute, Maya. What's this my last hope stuff? Huh? What? What do you mean, your last hope? No. That's what you said. You just said my last hope. Huh? What? I said what? Damn it, Maya. Look, you were facing an attacker that you couldn't see and you screamed, right? You screamed, help me. Yeah? But you testified that you screamed that because you thought it was your last hope. Oh, well, you know. That's like, what do you call it when that happens? Maya's not doing so well up there. Oh yeah, oh, that's right. I remember now. I was facing my attacker, but that's not who I was screaming at. What did you say? Yeah, that's right. It was the person behind my attacker that I was yelling at. That's who I was screaming to that's who I was screaming to for help. Ah! Oh, what is it now? I messed up. I didn't mean to let that slip out. What? Witness, are you absolutely sure of what you're saying? Behind the attacker there was another person? I meant to keep that part a secret. It's not what you do in court, Maya. What have I done? Huh. It takes a ton of pressure to make a diamond. That's what I always say. Ton of pressure. You're in a court of law here. You can't make things up and try to hide things in this chamber. Witness, the information you just presented is vital to the case. I want you to add it to your testimony. Could see a man behind my attacker by the light of the stone lantern. But the lantern wasn't on. The wick was no good. Tell me more. And who was this man? Did he have a visor on with 3 red slits? Well, you see, I couldn't see. You couldn't see. He uses this excuse twice now. 5 out of 7 in completion of your Paper Mario character design? Cool. Well, you know, lantern light isn't very bright. And neither are you, Maya. Oof. Lantern light, did you say? There's a great big stone lantern in the garden. They always light it when an acolyte is there for training. Hey, you know what they say? Under the lantern, darkness reigns. So I could see the person that was further away, but not my attacker who was closer. Plus, there weren't any other light sources in the garden at the time. There were none at the time. She's lying. Why are you lying to us, Maya? I'm trying to help you. Something warm splashed on your face. Blood. You don't mean it was... Oh my god, it was Godot. He threw his coffee at her. Oh my god. It's all making sense now. I didn't know it at the time, but I think it was probably blood. Is she saying that's when Miss Doonim, who was channeling Dahlia, was stabbed in the back by the killer? Yeah, Godot and his coffee! God damn it. At that moment I was paralyzed with fear. I was just sitting there in the snow. I'm sure blood got on everything around me. Yeah, but it was all cleared up. And then you lost consciousness. So what happened next? I don't remember. How were you saved? You don't even remember that? No, I haven't got any idea. I really don't know what happened at all. That's too bad. I've worked side by side with Maya for 2 years now. I can't tell when she's trying to hide something. I can tell when she's trying to hide something by how she acts. And right now, I'm absolutely certain she's hiding something. Well, I mean, we know one inconsistency. The light of the stone lantern. I'm so confident I'm not even going to save the game in case my computer, you know, freezes up. So there was a man standing behind your attacker? Yeah. That man. He's the killer. He stabbed her from behind. He's the one who killed Elise Doonim, otherwise known as Misty Faye, your mother. The killer? Maya, you know who killed your mother, don't you? What's the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? To be frank, Your Honor, I think she's in shock and quite confused. That's why she hasn't noticed the huge problem with her testimony. Huh? What do you mean? What problem? Maya? On the night of the crime, the stone lantern was out of commission. Huh? What? It's true. There was no light anywhere in the garden that night. No. Yep. Order. Order in the court. Mr. Godot, explain this. 20 cups of coffee now, Godot? God damn. And the pureness of milk. Add the pureness of milk to the perfect clear darkness of coffee and stir. That is the state of the witness's mind right now. It's a cup of cafe au lait. Cafe au lait? Is that even legal? What? Mr. Tright's words are the milk and you are the spoon, Your Honor. I'm a spoon? I'm no spoony bard, I have you know. You must have noticed it too, Trite. This witness's mental state is highly unstable right now. Not hard to understand why she would make a little mistake like that. Sorry, but that's not going to cut it. What did you say? If there truly was no light in the garden, then there's a fatal contradiction in the witness's last bit of testimony. Nick? That's not a knife, that's a spoon. Absolutely, I see you played Knifey Spoony before. May I? Recall the witness's statement about her attacker. She said that she didn't know if it was a man or a woman or an adult or a child. And yet, the witness could describe a person that was standing behind her attacker, and she quite clearly described him as a man. Ah. In other words, that would have to mean that Maya actually saw our mystery person. Despite it being so dark, she couldn't see the face of her own attacker. No! He is a spoon, such violent. Order! Order! What in the world does this mean, Mr. Wright? Are you saying Ms. Fay saw the real killer under pitch-black conditions? Trite, do you have any idea what you're proposing? How could she have seen in the darkness? There was no other light source at the scene. I beg your pardon, but there was. There are some things that you can only see in the dark, Mr. Godot. Maya, did you see who the killer was in the dark? And now you're trying to cover for him? Cover? For the man that killed her mother? There's only one conclusion I can draw from this. You know who this man is. Fucking Larry. Larry! Please, Nick. I don't know anything. Please, I'm begging you. Huh. You talk a good game, Trite, but let's see if you can walk the walk. The computer's just smelling a bit warm. It was pitch black, so what could the witness see? I'm calling your bluff. No, Nick, don't. Please, stop. It's getting good. You're questioning Godot's coffee, it's grey. It looks kind of black to me. Maya is dead set on protecting this guy, the man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother. But I can't let him get away with it. I'm a lawyer and an officer of the court. I'm here to find the truth. No, I don't think he puts milk in it. He doesn't like milk in his coffee. He only wants it black. My kind of guy. I mean, you know, but yeah. And yeah, it would turn it brown as well, yeah. Alright, Mr. Wright, time to show us what you've got. Who was the person that you say Ms. Fay saw in the darkness? Fucking Larry. Larry? No, it's not Larry. I mean... Can't be Edgeworth because, I mean, it's only a man. So, yeah, Larry the evil genius, yes. It can't be Edgeworth because he was trying on this side of the thing, so it can't be him, right? Can't be Gumshoe. He's also accounted for. Larry's accounted for. Whoever did this was over there when the bridge caught fire, and then made a call to tell Iris to come and collect the body. And that couldn't have been Dahlia, because Dahlia passed out while she was attacking Maya, and then woke up in the cave after Maya channeled her. And the only way she could know who she saw was definitely a man in the dark. Is the only man she could identify in the dark from his silhouette because of that red freaking visor. How about Bikini's orb? Can it glow? Bikini wasn't there. She was over at the other temple at the time. It's Godot. I said it. I said it before. He was there because he was suddenly mysteriously not around. But then the first time we saw him, he was over the other side of the ravine, heading up the investigation like he just got there suddenly out of nowhere. He's already there. He's been stuck over there all night.
Take that!
Oh my god. Was I right? Because it was pitch black, Miss Faye would be able to recognize the killer easily. I'm sure the court would like to see for itself how this is possible, yes? Can we just get the lights real quick? Somebody flick the lights on and off. Imagine that it was actually Sister Bikini. No, it wasn't Bikini. She was over at the other side of the thing. She was the witness to the stabbing in the courtyard. So it's definitely not Bikini. What? But how do you propose to show us something like that? It's easy. We just need to recreate the conditions of the night. Conditions? Your Honor, the defense officially requests that all the lights in this courtroom be turned off. What? What? This is... But it can't be. Huh. Knight Rider over here. Look at this guy. That was a nice bit of deduction. Right. Oh shit, son. Shit, son. Well, everyone. This is the man Maya saw on the night of the murder. It's a man that she knows and that she could only identify in the dark. Anyone else would have just been an indistinct silhouette. Unless they spoke. Order! Order! Prosecutor Godot, what is the meaning of this? Enjoy that coffee, Godot, it's your last. Surely you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing. Why aren't you denying it? Your Honor, you're asking the wrong person. What do you mean by that? If you've got a question, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. Well, Maya, how about it? What you saw that night? Was it 3 glowing red lights? Well, witness, answer the question. You're wrong. I never saw that. I thought the person that stabbed my mother was a man. For a totally different reason. What? Kidding me, I felt so smart.
Objection!
Stop your chattering, Your Honor. Chattering? Erikai redeeming a hydrate. Thank you. Gotta keep that throat in good, moist condition. All this reading. Oh, Jesus. Another coffee so soon? If it's worth asking, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. Alright. Well then, let's continue with the testimony. Is it now we redeem Hydrate until he needs to use the toilet? Look, I'm going to say this. Any abuse of the system will be ignored. You can waste your points by hitting hydrate 20 times in a row. I'll drink once. Well then, let's continue with the testimony. Please tell us how you knew the killer was a man. Yes, Your Honor. I didn't realize it until after I woke up, but... You know, you guys can use those for a few other things that are in there, like customize the emotes, that kind of thing. Go nuts! The killer. Or if you're not a sub, you can unlock a random emote for the day. You know that, right? Try some of them. When I came to, I was just lying there on the training hall floor. Or you can give me a posture check and force me to sit up straight. Thank you very much, Guido. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. The torches were lit and the body was gone. All the snow around the stone lanterns had been carefully cleaned up too. Since the person did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man. Gotta protect that back, indeed. So it was after the crime took place that the witness came to think the killer was a man. Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, Your Honor, No need to apologise. It is as Mr. Godot said, you're utterly exhausted. You're a dragon. Yes, you have to hoard all the points, indeed. We need to build you a gigantic mountain hall for you to inhabit with all these points. You can just sit on top of a pile of them forever. It's only natural that you would have been a little confused. Since he cleaned, she thought it was a man. That's a good point. Yeah. Well, hey, you know, men can clean up as well, you know. Darlano with a large waste of points. I hope they bring you good luck. Also, if you consider the situation you described, it doesn't seem too much of a stretch to assume the culprit was a man. Now, Bikini has a bad back. She couldn't do any of this. She went back to go and soak her bad back. Mr. Wright, proceed with the cross-examination. Well, here we go. When I came to, I was just lying on the training hall floor, okay? So you lost consciousness when you were in the garden, is that right? Yes, I think. I think it happened when the victim was stabbed. But then the person that carried you into the inner temple, it could only have been the killer. That's what I think too. But the killer carried Maya into the inner temple. By the time I got back, the place had changed. Godot is quiet, yeah. They have an agreement, I'm sure. Naturally, the killer must have done it, right? Yes, I think so. But why would the killer tamper with a crime scene like that? There must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide. I don't know. Looks like she doesn't have enough confidence. I think I need to gather some more information before I ask her again. If I press all the statements, do I have to come back and press that a clue? Let's press everything, then we'll come back to that statement. Which one was that? That's the second statement. Okay. The torches were lit, the body was gone. Torches were lit. Yes, that's how I noticed the whole scene had changed. I'm gonna say it was the killer who lit the torches. I mean, who else would it be? The killer probably lit them since it would be impossible to do any cover-up work in the dark. However, if that's true, there's one thing that still bothers me. Why did the killer go to the effort of moving the body? That's true, it's hard to see how that would be of any advantage to the killer. The only one who would gain anything from that would be the only person that was at the inner temple, Maya. It was to get suspicion away from her. That's the reason Iris gave as well, was like, look, I helped move the body when she was telling us a load of bullshit. In fact, that was not Iris, that was Dahlia, but she was like, I want to protect the Faye family, so I helped move the body. I still think that might be true, though. I think she was saying that because she knows Iris would say it, and it was believable for her. So this is still done to try to keep Maya out of blame. Don't put the body there where she's going to be the sole suspect. Put it somewhere else. Very well. Let me hear some more about the condition of the crime scene. All the snow around the lantern had been carefully cleaned up. Truth? So you're saying the killer cleaned up the snow? It did look odd. The snow was removed in an unnaturally looking rectangular shape around the lantern. That's the weird thing as well that I can't get around. Like, why in that shape? There were a lot of shovels around the inner temple, but they're all really heavy. Way too heavy for me to use. An odd fellow indeed, this killer. Why on earth would anyone want to take snow away? Well, there's one thing I can think of. Didn't you say that a lot of the victim's blood sprayed onto the snow? Yeah. The area I collapsed in ended up being splattered. In other words, the killer's purpose was to hide the bloody snow. I think that's the most reasonable explanation. Perhaps. However, there's something that's bothering me. If the killer just wanted to hide the snow with the blood on it, there was no need to remove that amount. It's true. He could have scooped up just the snow at the stain with blood. This family is certainly working hard to both take care of each other and get rid of the main branch. Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, Iris and Dahlia, yeah, they wouldn't have been part of the family anymore because they were taken away by the dads. They weren't in contention for the running. But it does kind of come off all very medieval feudalist. I'm getting an itch to play Crusader Kings 2 with this case. You know, you're like, all these schemes and plots. So, all that was stained with blood. Looks like there are some mysteries behind this issue. But I think this will help explain them. The person did all that alone, probably a man. It's very sexist, Maya. So you're saying that you never saw the killer, right? Yes. But earlier you very clearly stated that you saw a man behind your attacker. Nick, I'm sorry. The killer certainly went through a lot of trouble, moving the body by a pendulum and manipulating the crime scene, but for what purpose and why do all that? Maybe Maya knows more than she's letting on. Okay, look, that's all of them. Let's press this second statement again. Let's see if this is different. Naturally, the killer must have done it, right? Yes, I think so. Why would the killer tamper with a crime scene like that? There must have been something the killer desperately wanted to hide. The truth is, when I saw the crime scene, I felt something. You did? Yes, I felt like the killer was hiding the evidence for me, for my sake. Yeah. What? Hiding it for you? Everyone knew that I was the only one at the inner temple that night. If Sister Bikini had come back and looked in the garden, she may have thought you'd done it. No, she definitely would have thought so. And you're saying that's why the killer cleaned up the crime scene to make it look like nothing had happened? Yes, I'm sure of it. Well, that's certainly an important piece of information. I want you to add that to your testimony. Yes, Your Honor. Now, tell us. They did it for your sake? Well, if the body and the blood hadn't been removed, I would have immediately been the prime suspect, right? Yes, I suppose that's true. And if that had happened, the body would have caused some other problems too. If her real identity had come out right then, it would have been terrible. The Master of the Korean killed by my own daughter. I don't think Maya would have been able to handle it. But still, it's rather difficult to fathom the killer's motive. What reason is there to go through that much trouble to protect you? A really cool emote combo, I like that. Like it was for my sake the killer cleaned up the evidence. that a Rykor emote, by the way, the heart? Yeah, it is. It's Rykor's heart. God, I haven't been to Rykor's channel in such a long time. He moved his stream start time to be so much later in the evening that I never get to see him. He was such a cool streamer. I don't know if he still streams. Maybe he doesn't. Man, I haven't been to Rykor's channel in a long time. It's bikini, it has to be, as I thought from the start. It's not bikini. Yeah. Because, I mean, if it was, she would have been over there when the bridge was burned down. Bikini's more buff than we thought. Oh yeah, she lifts. If it was for her sake that the killer had cleaned up evidence of what had happened. So this is the new statement. This has got to be the one we present on, right? Secret staircase down one side and up the other. Oh, I like it. It's for her sake. Thing is, this was left behind. Elisa's talisman. This was obviously cut off of her robe. And just left out in the open. I wonder if the killer, Godot, did that for our benefit, to put us on the right trail. Thing is though, here's the thing. No, I mean to put us on the trail of who Misty Faye was, who Elise Doonan was. But it was actually Misty Faye. I wonder if he left that there to tell us like, yo dude, you should really see this, then you'll figure out who the victim really is. If he really wanted to clean up everything, why leave the bloodstained Maya written there? In fact, I'm wondering now if Elise Doonan's body, while it was being piloted around by Dahlia Hawthorne, was stabbed. She says that she then wrote this on the statue with her dying breath. I wonder if that's true or not. And if so, why didn't the killer clean it up? Hey Lava King, how's it going? Good to see ya. It has been a really long time. How's things with you? Are you all good? I've seen you on and offline on Discord, so I know you've been around, but yeah, dude, good to see ya. Luigi, you're right. He can't see it. That's why he cleaned up so much snow. Oh my god, dude, you just put it right in my brain. He would know blood was there, he just didn't know where. That's why he cleaned up a huge amount of snow. Because of the red visor, he can't see blood. You're amazing, everything is good. I'm good too, thank you very much, yes. Yeah, you can't see red because of the visor. We've already had this as a running gag. He cleaned up the snow because he knew there will be blood here, I just can't see it. So he just cleaned a huge load of snow out like, fuck it, I'll just take it all. But he didn't clean the statue because of that. He didn't see the red writing on the statue earlier. He said, that statue's clean as a whistle. And it was like, no it ain't, it says Maya in blood on it. And he seemed really put out by that. Do I have to present this here though? I think it was for my sake the killer cleaned up the evidence, but he didn't clean everything up. I didn't forget he could see red, but I didn't know it was related to this until Luigi just said that. He can't see the Maya's writing since it's red. Yeah, I get it now. Sorry you're AFK a bit, we'll explain when you're done. No problem. Yes, okay, good. It was this. The body of Elise Doonan was carried all the way to the Hazakura Temple's courtyard. Then at the garden of the real scene of the crime, the snow that we suspect was covered in blood was scooped and removed. It's reasonable to believe all this was done in an attempt to hide the true crime scene. However, there's still one matter that seems somewhat odd. Oh, what would that be? You must have figured it out by now, Mr. Godot. It's the message written in blood on the lantern. It was written very clearly on the on the white stone lantern. Maya. Ah! It's weird he can't see the contrast. Is everything pure red as if it's white? Maybe. I wonder if it's because of the red visor. Actually, no, I was going to say, is it because of the red visor or because it's blood and he specifically can't see it? But he couldn't see ketchup either. I think it's just one of those, look, just go with it kind of things. Suspend your disbelief. Yeah, Undertale taught us ketchup is blood. Exactly. If the killer was so motivated to protect Maya from suspicion, then why didn't they wipe the writing off the lantern? Ah, you're right. This is how we expose him. Order, order! But Mr. Wright, isn't it a fact that the killer was trying to cover the scene of the crime? Indeed, but it doesn't make sense to move the body and remove bloody snow, then not wipe off the most incriminating thing of all, bloody writing. Oh, there it is, that's another one. But if that's the case, do you have an explanation for the killer's mysterious behavior? Why would this killer move the body and remove all that snow, but then leave the bloody writing on the lantern? I don't know, you tell me, visor boy. I don't know what the killer's plan was, but it's a fact that the killer left writing on the lantern. There must be a reason for it. I thought it weird right at the beginning. It was like they cleared the snow, but they left the writing. I guess they just decided not to bother. Well then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your opinion. Why did the killer leave the message written in blood on the lantern? There it is. The killer didn't notice it. He didn't see it. He couldn't see it. Prosecutor Godot, earlier in this trial you gave me some good advice. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Maybe you're not as dumb as I thought. The real killer wanted to disguise the fact that a crime had occurred there. If that's the case, they wouldn't have left the bloody writing on the stone lantern on purpose. Therefore, it must mean they didn't notice it. But that doesn't make any sense. The torches were all lit and everything. There's no way any normal person would miss something as glaring as that. You're right. There's no way any normal person would. What are you trying to say, Mr. Wright? There's only one person involved in this incident who could have missed seeing the bloody writing altogether. And who would that be? Who's the person that could have failed to notice the bloody writing? Mr. Godot, this is what you said yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. Can't see everything? Is that correct, Mr. Godot? It's quiet again, he's climbing up. This lantern was submitted as evidence today. I would like the court to think back to the moment it was first presented. This lantern? There's something written on it. Why? It's written in blood. Huh? Nonsense. This lantern? It's as clean as a whistle. Mr. Godot, just admit it. There are certain colours you can't see, correct? Yes, so it is the colour then, I guess. You can't see red on a white background, can you? Maybe that's it. Yeah, contrast-wise, yes, but on a white background you can't. That's right. When we went through this one before, during the poisoning case at Tribulations, this is the apron the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time, and somehow spilled coffee all over it. There's something still bothering me, Mr. Godot. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court? Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be? Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-coloured stain that's smeared all over the apron. That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a bloodstain. so good. I love that. I love that it was a gag and it's now becoming one of the most important parts of the final case. You could see the coffee on the white apron. Yeah, that's it. It's normally obvious. But you couldn't see the ketchup because it was red. Damn. And the coffee 24 now? Huh. It's strange. In a black and white photo, those letters would have appeared black to me. I wonder, why am I the only one that can't see them? Oh god, could somebody explain it to the guy? So then, Mr. Godot, are you admitting it? Are you admitting that you can't see the red writing on the lantern? Hey, Gramps, did you know? For the reason why I don't drink red tea? Okay. I wasn't sure about it until now, but I just can't believe it. Prosecutor Godot, is the murderer, but there's no going back now. That's it, yeah, his cup would always look empty, he wouldn't know. I finally figured out the truth. Mr. Godot, the defense at this time formally accuses you. You are the murderer of Miss Elise Doonan, also known as Misty Faye. It's hard to believe this may be true. However, once again, Mr. Wright has brought up a disquieting fact about you. Huh. Just make sure you don't fill out an indictment in red ink, Gramps. Come on. How does a little graffiti make me into the killer? Besides, it's not like it's my name written there. Yeah, but I'm certain that the killer wasn't able to see the colour red. This is rich. Do go on, Wright. The answer is right here at the crime scene. In the snow. Or rather, the snow that's not there. Here we go now. The snow? How so? Well, for example, why did the killer move all that snow? Your Honor, you said it yourself. If he wanted to hide the bloody snow, why not take out just that area? Yes, why didn't he just take out that area? Ah, could it be? Yes, it could. The killer couldn't see red blood that had seeped into the snow, so he had to remove all of the snow. He couldn't be sure of where the blood had landed, so he removed the whole area. Isn't it more likely that the killer couldn't see the blood because it was dark? Yeah, but then they lit the lanterns. Not a chance. The torches were all lit. He would have been able to see just fine. It seems that once again this trial has taken an unexpected turn, to say the least. Can you explain this, Mr. Godot? Maya? Wait just a minute. Maya? What is it, witness? Mr. Godot isn't the killer. After all, he didn't even come to the inner temple until 2 days after the murder took place. He didn't show up until after the old bridge got fixed up. Objection! Maya, you can't testify to something like that. She wasn't around. Why? What do you mean? Eek! After the murder happened, you didn't even exist. You was channeling Dahlia. How could she know any of that? She can't. I mean, she could have been told this after the fact, but not to that level of detail. She didn't. I'm afraid I don't follow. You senile old man? We established this just a little while ago. After the murder, this witness was unconscious for a long time. Maya, let Godot go free or I will summon Dahlia. Yeah. Oh, God. That's it now. She can hold that over Nick forever. Be like, no, you are going to do what I want or I'm going to summon Dahlia. And you know she's going to want to stab you up. Because she was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne. That's right. Please, Your Honor, let me add it to my testimony. Nick, please listen to me. You plan to cover for Godot no matter what the cost? If that's the case, then I've got no choice. Your Honor, let's hear her testimony. If it means we're going to hear the whole truth, I say we should not silence her. Ha! Nicely done, Wright. Very well, let's hear the testimony. Gonna pop to the shops, but this is too was gonna pop to the shops, this is too tense. I know, right? So good. Please tell us what happened at the inner temple after the murder. Yes, sir. After I woke up, I began channeling and my spirit left me, as it were. But little Pearlie was there at the inner temple too. She knew? She knew Pearl was there? Pearlie was also stuck on the inner temple side that night. The next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. Next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare room. The spare prep room. Oh dear. Didn't she read the message? Oh, you mean Maya read Morgan's message? No, I don't think she did. It was only Misty Faye that read that message, it seems. But she must have seen her before she did her channeling. Oh my god, okay, so long story short, I've got involved in a scam and get in touch with the bank. Oh no. None of the money has been taken, luckily. Oh, that's good. But a friend got their account hacked. Ah, shit. Oh, good luck getting all that sorted, Freya. Yeah. That's no good. You go take care of what you need to take care of. You know how this ends. You can always watch the VOD to catch up. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. That's when Mr. Godot arrived at the inner temple for the first time. He found Pearlie first and cheered her right up. Who is this Pearlie? It's my little cousin, Pearl Faye. So, when did you hear about this? Oh, just a while ago, when I was in the medical office. I'm terribly sorry, but what you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. What? Come on! Pearl would never tell a lie. She's a way more honest person than I'd ever be. Maya, things you do not say on a witness stand. Yeah, like I basically got PayPal money, which I then had to bank transfer to someone, so none of my money got taken, but now you got to report the transactions. Oh dear, yep. Good luck. Hope it all works out. Real smart, Maya. You always know the best thing to say when you're under oath. Huh. The prosecution has no objection. We believe the witness. Mr. Godot, let's just move on to the cross-examination, if the defense has no objection. This is highly unusual, but, well, Mr. Wright, let's get this cross-examination started. Oh, yeah. Pearlie was stuck on the inner temple that night. Okay. So where did you think Pearl slept that night? In the spare prep room next to the training hall, I guess. There's a rule that you can't enter the training hall during an acolyte's training. But even so, why did she go to the inner temple in the first place? Seems Pearls became very worried about Maya. She knew that the spiritual training I was about to undergo was very intense. Pearls was supposed to channel Dahlia Hawthorne, but she couldn't do it. That's why she headed to the inner temple. However, Dahlia Hawthorne was already there, possessing the body of Elise Doonan. The next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. She searched the entire inner temple side end to end. Well, you see, Pearlie gets pretty scared when she's alone. And there weren't that many places to look. She says that she even went back and forth several times. The inner temple side has two structures, the training hall and the spare prep room. And there's also a storage shack, I think. I think that's about it. There was a storage shack too. Pearls was looking for other people, right? Would she have really examined the storage shack that carefully? Well, if it was me, that would be the first place I would investigate. Oh, new follower! Oh my goodness, can I pronounce that? El Paquivero. I hope that's right. Welcome to the channel. Thank you very much for the new follow. I'm glad you're enjoying the show. So that means it's possible that someone may have been hiding in the storage shack. When the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. Pearls didn't hear the sound of them working on the bridge? What do you mean? I was just wondering why she would stay in the prep room. If it was me, I'd at least go out and wait at the foot of the bridge. Oh, well, Pearlie said she was sleeping at the time. She said she was so scared during the night that she couldn't sleep and woke up a bunch of times. Poor little girl, all alone like that. Well, we know she had at least one friend in the sacred cavern, Dahlia Hawthorne, who was busy battling with the trick lock. She couldn't let anyone see her, so she wouldn't have shown herself to Pearls. What happened after the bridge was finally fixed?